Hello, everybody, and welcome to Here with Trading with the Within the Box here on 9/12/2023. This is not a recommendation to buy, sell, hold any futures, forex, any stocks, equities, or any options in the stock market. This is an educational video only. If you'd like to purchase stocks, please contact a licensed professional or the brokerage house of your choice, and they will help you there. Okay, welcome to Trading Within the Box here. Please like, subscribe, share my channel if you can. And we're going to get to it here this morning here, and we're going to go over the markets. We want to see what's happening with the markets. So we came up, and here's the story. Okay, we came off support. Okay, we had a higher low. Okay, we came back, and we had really good volume right here. Okay, so we're going into these areas. We come up, and we fail at the gap, okay, right there, okay. Now we pull back with lighter volume. See it pulling back with lighter volume. Now we're coming back up here, and now we're going to have to see what's going to happen here. Are we going to get it engulfing, and we're going to go off to the races? First have to pass this area, and then hit this area. Let's see what happens. Or do we get this type of thing, and we get this and we fail and then we come back down, okay? And then what will that be? Okay, that will be trading within the box, right? Okay, so that would be right here, and then we can be in a sideways consolidation possibly. That could happen where we go like this, and then we come back up and we come, back within the box, okay? And that's what this channel is all about, trading within the box. So we're going to be looking, and we're going to be looking at the small time frames to see how the volume is. Now, the space and the void in these areas right here, that's post-market and pre-market. Okay, I wanted to put that up so it separates the volume a little bit too. Plus, we can see what's happening before the markets open too. That's another thing too. So on a 45-minute chart here, right here, we'll look at the volume, okay, as we see the volume down here, okay. So right here, we had big buyer come in, okay, right there, okay, we had a big buyer, and then we had another nice size buyer come in, and then we have some follow-through volume so far. So let's see if they pull this back here, we hold in this area, and then we start heading up, okay. So that's something that, sorry about the drawing, but that's something we're going to have to look at. Now, let's go to the XLF because we want to see what the banks are doing. And we're going to see if we're going to follow the banks up, okay? Now, on the banks here, okay, we have this we have a spike here, okay? So let's see if we're going to come up and test that or if we're going to break and test this low. So what do they always do? So we're in a 45-minute chart on the XLF here. Remember these tower volume sticks right here, so we're coming right into this area here. Do we pull back right into this spot right here, and then we start heading up? Okay, let's see if it holds that area or if we're just going to gap back up. Let's see what they do this morning here. Okay, 9:07 a.m. here, so we're getting ready for an opening here on Tuesday morning on September 12th. And right here, as you look at the SMH on the 45-minute chart, we don't have really any kind of trend or anything yet. So let's see what's happening. SMH right here, we come to support. We do have a support area right here in this gap area right there. Okay, and let's see here what's going to happen. Okay, we're holding. That means they're not really like selling it 100% yet. Let's see. So we come up and we come into the resistance area right here. So let's see if they come back and then what happens. So right now we have a little bit of a sideways market. We always go to the IWM because we want to see what the speculators are thinking and what they're doing, and we're holding. Okay, so look at the W formation on and we got the indecision candlestick, and then we get the buying right afterwards, and then we get the engulfing. Then we come up to the supply area a little bit, and we pull back. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. Is this going to hold? Now, do we come back up here and then we fail and then we come back up, or do we do this possibly on we come back and then we come down and we retest this spot right here? That could very well happen. So we're not 100% convinced here. Let's go to a 45-minute chart on the IWM. And as we look here, Okay, we got a pre-market. We got pullback in the pre-market. Okay. And right now, we're not convinced with buying, okay, on the IWM, on the speculators. We're not convinced right now. But we don't know. We're still waiting. We're still waiting to see what they're going to do. So let's now go over our stocks here. And let's go over first. We're going to go over GDX. And let's see what's happening with GDX. Right now, we are holding, okay. So what happened? We came back. What do we always do? Okay. We have the tower right there, volume stick, okay? So we come up, and then we say, got a tower volume stick. We might be coming back to it. And what do? We came exactly back to it. Now we're holding. Let's see if we drop, or let's see if we start getting engulfing, we start taking off, okay? We do have a higher low right here on GDX. Now let's go over to the volume on the 45-minute chart, and let's see if there's anything going on. And right now, really not much, okay? So we have nothing going on here right now on GDX yet, okay? So let's see. We have a massive volume candlestick right here, a volume stick, and what does it do? It always comes back to it, okay? Not 100% of the time, but most of the time. See how it comes right back to it, retests it, okay? And it's going to retest it. It's retesting it in the pre-market right there, okay? Okay, so that's the story with GDX. Let's go to 2-hour chart. And what do we see? Coming back to support on the 2-hour chart. And the support line is right here. Okay. So we have a little bit of less selling here. See it? See how the selling was bigger in these areas? Okay. We have a little less selling there. Okay. So that's what's going on with GDX. So we're just watching. Okay. We're watching AMGN. Let's go over to AMGN. Now, AMGN, let's go to a daily chart. And as we look at the daily chart here on AMGN, what happened? Okay, we came off support, which was right here. Okay, it was right there. We came off a support level and we bounced. Okay, now we're way up here. Let's look at where we are. Okay, so we always have to know where we are. Okay, look where we are already. Okay, so like the trade down here at 214.01. We came all the way up to 267. So remember where we are. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 peaks. Okay. We usually a lot of times we sell off at the 4th peak. Okay. So that's something that we're going into this area here. Okay. And what are we going into this area with? So we're going to go after a swing point, possibly. If we're going to go after a swing point, we have to have volume. 215. 2.15 million shares into 2.24 million shares. So, okay, so we're coming up, not with bad volume, but not with great. And then we're already, so if you're an AMGN, you're going right into the resistance area, okay, right there. Okay. Now on Boeing, let's shoot over to Boeing right now, okay? And what's happening with Boeing? Now, let's look at it really quick here, okay? We have a peak and we have a swing point, okay? We come back down, 1. We come back down, 2 peaks, 3 peaks, 4 peaks. Now we're at the 4th peak, okay? So we're at support here on Boeing, okay? And it's 211.01 right now. The support area was at 210, okay? 210.24. So we come back to it, and now let's see what's going to happen here. Now, this is something where we're going to get a snapback. Now, when we get the snapback on Boeing, we'll look at what we came into, okay? Here it is again, okay? We had the volume stick, okay? What do we come back into that area, okay? Now, we're coming back with lighter volume into that spot. So let's see if we hold, okay? We come back, we slam right into the support area. Now we're gonna get one of the V-shaped formation, okay? You see here we had the V shapes and then we failed. We had the V shape, we failed. Now we're coming back and let's see. We come back, we hold either here or hold here. We get a double bottom and then boom, we get engulfing with volume. Let's just say right there, we could be off to, let's say around that area right there, which would be 218.04, let's just say. Okay. Let's just see if that's going to happen. That could take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That could be 10 days, 12 days away from now. Okay, let's just see on Boeing what's going to happen. Now on Boeing, if you go to the 45-minute chart, so far we're not convinced yet. Okay, we had a little bit of a flush out of the volume, okay? So it can test that spot right in that area there, okay, on Boeing, right there. It can test it. See this volume sticks right there? So you can get that little pop, a little bit of that pop, okay? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a pop in Boeing, okay? Okay, let's go back over to, on our list here, Procter & Gamble. So let's go, people asking about Procter & Gamble. Now, Procter & Gamble, I had some big buyers down here, this area, because we're looking at the order flow. Okay. Now, Procter & Gamble, if you look at it right here on the support line, okay, and then right here at the support line right here, what exactly happened, okay? You came off support, and now you have the engulfing, okay? You come back, and you have the W formation, okay? You come back, got the W. Now, let's look at the volume going into the swing point. Swing point's 4.126 million shares. Million shares. Okay, now we're going into it with 4.28, the same amount of shares, okay? Let's see if we can get up and over here. It's very possible that we will. Now, what other candlestick are we going into the downdrift right here on August 15th? With 6.92 million shares. That's why it failed the first time in that spot right there, okay? So this is a spot you got to be very careful in, right here, because you have pressure with higher volume. Now you can come up and creep up with lower volume here, but you'll probably will fail in the resistance area, okay? Now, not always, but that's what I'm seeing right here. Now, on Procter & Gamble, let's pull over to the 45-minute chart here, and let's see what's happening, okay? Now, on Procter & Gamble, you come off the bottom here with support, and you have some support covering, okay? Now you're coming into this area, and it has to break out intraday. It has to break out, and then we go to the next level at 156.42. Right now, 154.75 on Procter & Gamble. Let's look at a weekly chart. Let's go over to the weekly chart, and now here's the deal on the weekly chart. Now, look at the weekly chart. You have a W formation. Let's go to the line chart on Procter & Gamble. Look at the W. Okay, you have a beautiful, beautiful W formation. Okay, but it's leaning a little, so it could get up there, and then we fail, okay? So let's see what happens. That's going to be a few weeks away. Now, we come up, and let's see what happens if we're going to go retest this 157.38 or right into the swing point. Now, let's see what kind of volume we get this week. We're going to have to see after the week is over to see what kind of volume we have going on there, okay? That's going to be on Procter & Gamble because we have a nice setup here on Procter & Gamble. We have a pop, okay? Let's go over to Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola, you're getting a discount here, okay? So look at the discount up in the 63.05 and then 58.88, okay? This is not a stock that moves tons at a time, okay? But this is something you're going to have to watch. Okay, as you're coming off, what are we looking for? Do we have the retest W? Not yet, okay? So we're looking here. We could fail right around here and then come back. Now, if we hold, we could get this little pop, but we have the moving average of the 20-day coming down right into it, okay? And then if you start getting up and over, now the volume is increasing, okay? Volume's increasing a little. So now that we know that the volume's increasing, let's break this down. We're breaking this thing down. See if there's really buyers in here. Okay? And now, right now, what is going on here in the pre, post, and pre-market? We have a sideways consolidation. Okay, and then what's the volume looking like? Okay, the volume that we're gonna have to keep watching. Now, if we break out here on an intraday, we can head up to this 59.86 area, okay? Let's see if we get volume, okay? Remember, these markets move. A car cannot go unless you're stepping on the accelerator, and that's what volume is here, okay? Now, let's go over to Microsoft. Okay, now on Microsoft, I just switched over to Microsoft here. This is Microsoft's daily chart, and this is not a surprise. We were following it right off the moving average here. Okay, so 340.35 right now. If you're on Microsoft, 340.35 right here, you got to be very careful. Okay, why? Because look at the downdrafts here. Okay, you got some downdrafts here in this area. Okay, and you have a downdraft of 58.38 million shares. Okay, so what are you coming into that with? You're right now, in that candlestick. Okay, and that was yesterday. We gapped up, but we gapped up with 16 million shares. Actually, to be exact, 16.583 million shares. Okay, so as we came down 58 million shares right here, you got pressure. Okay, you're retesting with lighter volume. You're gapping up into this spot. Okay, now the volume candlesticks, what I always say, now, don't worry about these numbers. These are just order flow numbers. Okay, but what happens? Now, look at the magnet volume sticks right there. And what did it do? It tested it, right? Now here's another one up in this area right here. So it's going to test that spot right there. Let's see what happens when it gets up to that spot. Now, let's flip over to the weekly chart. Let's see if we do have a little bit of uptrend, but the volume is not that great, okay? Let's see if this is going to fail here and then come back down. It could come back down in the form of W and then start heading up. Let's see what happens. Okay, on Microsoft. Let's go over to 45-minute chart on Microsoft. Now, Microsoft with the 45-minute chart, okay, we're up in this area. We don't have tons of conviction here, okay? We don't have tons of conviction here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right here. Okay, we do have a little bit of a sideways. We could pop up and then head to 340.53. Let's see what they do. And then we can head up to that 343 range. Let's see what they do there, okay? So that's something we're just going to follow on the intraday charts, and we're going to look at the 2-hour chart. And we're going to look at, right now, on a 2-hour chart, we're at support, okay? So here's the deal, okay? On a 2-hour chart, we came up strong in this area right here, pushed up. Now pulling back with lighter volume, okay, on the pre-market, okay, right here. So let's see. We got a little bit of a buy right off this area right here, okay. Let's see if we get that little buy off that spot right there, and then we head up a little bit, okay. This thing's swinging down, so I call it swing trading, and then we're gonna come off, buy, and then boom, we're gonna head up. Okay, let's see what happens there. Okay, that's on Microsoft right now. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Remember, I told you about the pressure of the downdraft over there. UNH, which is United Healthcare. Let's go over that one really fast. We're below the moving average here, so we had the sideways consolidation right there. Okay, and then you see as we came down with it. We broke, we came back, and then boom, it was a short. We came back to support right into the gap. We bounced right to the magnet where the moving average was, and then boom, it was a monster short right in that spot, okay? Now we're coming back again, okay? Let's see, on UNH here, we have, let's just see where we're at here. Let's call it that one area, 2, 3, 4, okay? Let's see what they do here, okay? Let's look at on UNH, because people were asking about it, on the 45-minute chart, okay? We still have a lot of selling. And then on the 45-minute chart, what just happened? They shorted it right off the moving average, okay? They shorted it right off the moving average, okay? Right now, at the Apple, too. And Apple was something that we were waiting a very long time for a discount. Okay, and we got it. Okay, we got it. Went right into the gap and it failed. And now beautiful short off the resistance area. And now what do you have here? Okay, you have one of those incredible high volume sticks. So we always look for those because those are incredible trades to have. Okay, so now on the high volume stick, what's going to happen a lot of times, not saying always, we're going to pull back. Okay, we're going to pull back and we're going to retest that area. Now, if we get the double bottom here and we get the engulfing, okay, we want to see some volume, and then we start heading up for a trade here. Okay, see how it happened here. Okay, we came back. Now we had what happened here. We had another one right here. Okay, and what did it do? It tested the bottom of it. It came right to it. So it came right off of support. It came right to the area. Okay, you could even white out the areas and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to really know about this stuff right here. Okay, I'm down here. Okay, right in this spot right here, and I want to know that I'm going back to this area. Forget about all this junk. Forget about all that. Okay, I want to know right here that I'm heading back up to this spot, and that's my target. Okay, and it was a beautiful target, and then it came up with lighter volume and came right into the resistance area. Okay, so on the we flip over to Goldman Sachs. This is going to be our last stock here. Okay, so now I want to show you what we were talking about on Goldman Sachs here for a while. Okay, so we came back down. We had the W formation. We came back and we held. Okay, we got the engulfing, and now we crossed up on the stochastic on the daily chart. Now we go into that little resistance and we get that little pullback. Okay, so now this is something that we want. Okay, so we want to look out on a line chart. Okay, so right here, right in this spot, we get this little W forming. Okay, this little W full pullback. Okay, that's what we're looking for here. Okay, we want to come back. We want the little discount. We know we're getting close to right in this area right here, and we want to look at the volume. Okay, so as we push up on September 8th, we pushed up with 2.02 million shares, okay, going into 1.83. So we should get up and over this. Let's see what happens as we get into the top of this range. Let's see what happens. I mean, we could get something like this too, and then we come back up. You know, let's see what happens, okay? Now, Goldman Sachs so far looking good. The volume is not great, though, in this spot, okay? Look at the last time we came up, okay, in this area right here. Okay, the volume is bigger and stronger. Okay, it's bigger and stronger there too. So we have a little bit of a weaker. We're coming off in a weaker spot. Okay, over here. So that's something that I wanted to show you on Goldman Sachs. So keep watching it, and then we'll go from there.